So now we're going to try our second smoothie. And this one consists of frozen mango, 2 cups of nut milk, so we're going to use almond milk. One frozen banana. One cup of kale. Now with the kale, what you want to do is, the stems tend to be very very fibrous and hard. So what you do is you just grab the stem in your hand and you just pull it right out, and you're just left with the leaf. So this is a good way to get rid of the stems and just get the leaf in your smoothie.
You look like a pro at that.
That's amazing. It's like magic.
Is that dried kale?
No, this is fresh kale.
It's a different color.
Well, this is purple kale.
Oh.
Sometimes you'll see you just have to, destem it. If the stem is at the end there, you can just destem it like that. So you just pull the little, you just put it in your hand and just pull it like that really fast, and it just takes it all out. Sometimes you have a little.
You want to eat more kale just from that.
Now, a lot of times, one of the things that's also a good thing to do is to add a pinch of salt because of the electrolytes. So it's always good to just add a tiny little, like a little pinch of salt to your smoothies, especially the pink salt because it has a lot of minerals, and that's going to help to add the electrolytes, which will also enhance your wellness. So here we go.
How can you tell that it's done?
Well, you're just pretty much watching it, and you can see sometimes some of the kale particles. You just want to make sure that they all sort of disappear. So you're kind of just watching it.
Okay.
Now, another thing is we're talking about the thickness of the smoothie. If it's a little too thick for your taste, you can just add a little water to, or a little bit more milk to water to make it a little thinner. Tell those bananas, there were some of those frozen bananas were still sneaking in there.
Now I have a question for you. If you're a person who likes the texture of a milkshake, like who doesn't?
Sure.
But anyway, if you're a person who likes a milkshake, if you leave it a little thicker, will that kind of give you that mouthfeel?
Absolutely.
Like a milkshake?
Actually, you'll see that in this one. This one's more like a milkshake. This one I left a little bit thicker.
Okay, we're pushing it now a little bit. This is like a brown smoothie. Okay. Green is one thing, but brown that has no chocolate in it is a little questionable.
Well, you
No
gotta
pressure,
taste.
Michael, but
I'll taste it
You
first.
must taste first before you comment.
you're right, absolutely.
And this one I will say is more like a. This is more like a milkshake. It's a little thicker. Now, one thing I did not do was add the sweetener, which I could have added.
But you did use vanilla almond milk.
I did.
And there's bananas.
Yes, so we'll see if it's, we'll see how it's,
Okay. All right, here we go, ladies.
It's even better than the last one.
really?
Yeah.
All
It's
right.
thick. I like the thicker.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
one I made a little thicker, you know,
I like
and
that.
so, actually I was reading Carol's mind. I knew she wanted a milkshake, so,
What am I tasting in here that's a
Lots.
little bit tart?
Salt.
I taste the vanilla. Could be the salt. No, I put very little salt.
Yeah, but I taste the banana, I
mango,
taste the
right?
salt.
I think it must be the mango.
Maybe.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
I can taste the kale. So this one's a little bit more, this one's a little bit more, you could say, more advanced from the sense that you can actually taste the kale in this one. But it's nice, it's not unpleasant.
Well, Michael, I actually don't taste the kale.
I don't
Because the only way that I've ever made kale is making kale chips. Like when I make kale chips with nutritional yeast,
Mhm.
I've never tasted it this way. So I can't taste the kale. It doesn't taste like kale chips.
Now, one thing we could have done also was add the protein to this.
Oh,
So if you
it's good.
stop drinking and we'll just add the protein.
I don't
So-
know about protein.
You don't want the protein? Okay.
I like it the way it is.
So if you decided, oops, I forgot the protein, how would you do that? Do you just take your
Well-
juice and add a little to it and stir it up, or what? I have a toy. I have a cool toy. Maybe this will help.
Oh,
I love this thing. I just call it a whizzer because I don't know what else to call it. But you just, yeah, that's pretty cool, huh? This is what I use when I forget to put something in something I'm making.
oh, okay,
Because I
yeah.
just add it and then I just do this.
Or you could just pour it in here.
You just gotta keep pressing that.
You could just pour it in the shaker bottle. And then just,
But if I could just put a little protein powder in this cup right
well, you
here.
can take that cup and pour it in here, and then add the
But
protein.
you can't use a little whizzer.
Then I can't use my little whizzer.
Okay.
I would actually like to see what this tastes like with protein
Ooh,
powder.
okay, so let
can
me-
we add a little
yeah,
and I'll
okay.
try it?
So now what we're going to do with the protein powder is we are going to enhance it a little bit. So what we're going to do is when you're making a protein powder with the shaker bottle, you first want to add the liquid. So
What should be this?
no, well, you know, we'll use your little sturdy thing. So what we're going to do is the first thing you want to do is add the liquid. Protein powder. We're using the Sun Warrior protein, which is made out of brown rice. And then we're going to add a little bit of cacao powder to enhance the flavor. Or maybe a lot of cacao powder, depending on who you're making it for.
What are you trying to say, Michael? I think that comment was intended for me.
Just make sure the lid's tight, and then you just shake it. then you can just top off your smoothie with the protein, and now you have a complete meal. This is a very good question. Why not put the protein in the blender? It's a very good question. And the reason why is because the proteins have a specific structure that the body recognizes and absorbs and utilizes. When you put the protein in the blender, the blades of the blender will damage the proteins. So it's
So that's why people use shaker.
that's why people use shaker bottles.
I've been putting my protein powder in the blender every day.
Well, now you don't have to anymore. Buy yourself a shaker bottle. This doesn't damage the structure of the protein. Remember, we were talking about how when you pasteurize milk, you alter the proteins, the body can't recognize them, and utilize them as well as raw milk. Well, the same principle here. We're taking a plant-based protein to enhance our nutrition, and we don't want to damage the structure of those proteins, so we use the shaker bottle.
Okay, now my mind can accept the fact that I'm drinking a brown smoothie that has chocolate in it.
Does it taste
It's
chocolatey?
very good. Oh yeah.
Yeah.